Welcome to episode 8 of the Phos Devlog. As you may have noticed, I decided to skip last month's devlog. This was because things got pretty busy for me IRL. With that out of the way, let's hop right into the devlog. These past 2 months there has been pretty slow progress, but I've made sure to at least make progress. One of the first things I did was add new building models to the game. These are 3 new models, none of them which are actually functional in the game, just visual. The first building is a shield generator. This building will be used to project a shield around an area. This will give protection from ranged attacks. The next building is a lithium evaporator. This is a key building that will allow for the production of lithium. The final building is a tritium breeder reactor. This is a nuclear reactor. Its main purpose is to produce tritium, a resource that will be required later in the game. It will also be a decent power source. It will however require a fairly large amount of power to start running. Some of these new buildings weren't planned to be created yet, but I came up with some good ideas for them, so I decided to make them ahead of schedule. Next up was the first new unit in the game. This is a light scout unit, a fast-moving, low-durability unit that's meant for scouting and exploration. It's meant for exploration, but Phos currently doesn't have an exploration system. I'm currently still deciding on how that will work. My current thoughts on it is that the entire map, like the shape of the map, would be visible, but the resources and structures on it wouldn't be visible until it's explored. I'm not sure how I'm going to implement all of this, but that's a problem for future me. Now that Phos is actually having proper units and there are multiple of them, I decided to add a build queue UI. Currently it's a pretty simple queue that allows you to see what units are under construction and cancel orders. It also shows the progress of builds. Now that I have the build queue UI complete, the major parts of building stuff in Phos are implemented. As a result, I've started to think about how to handle icons for units and buildings. There are 3 options. First would be custom artwork for each building. Second would be a 3D rendering for each building, and this can display animations and such. The final option would be the render of the model. This would be pre-rendered. Personally, I'm leaning towards a full 3D rendering, which would be harder, or custom artwork. Let me know what you think in the comments. As I started to add more features to Phos, it became very clear that the info panel was not sufficient enough to display all the information. So I decided to add a new tooltip. This will automatically resize based on the content. This will make things much easier going forward. I'm not sure how I will repurpose the info panel or if I'll completely remove it. I need to try out the tooltips in more places to see how it'll work. In addition to these features, I've also noticed some bugs and memory leaks. There aren't quite as many as last time, so they were pretty quick to fix. I mentioned in the last devlog that I was working on a new method of collision filtering. I'm happy to report that the new filtering is completely implemented. This all makes it much easier to write code related to collision handling and raycasting. Since the last devlog, there have been a few features that are broken. First and the most noticeable is the construction animation for buildings and units. The shader for this no longer works. I have a plan on how to work around it, but that's not implemented yet. You may also notice that the lighting and visuals of the game have changed quite a bit. This is not the final design, but I've been messing around with it to try to get a more interesting and consistent look. I want to make sure that the game looks good in both light and dark areas and also in different weather conditions. But for now, that's a pretty low priority. That's all for this month's devlog. If you're interested in Phos, be sure to wishlist on Steam. The demo will be released in 2 months. If you want to become part of the testing team and give your feedback, you can join the Discord. And as always, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next month.